Alright guys, so today I'm going to attempt to repair an issue with my Audi A4, the 2010 B8 model with a 2-liter turbocharged engine. So I believe the problem is the PCV valve, pressure control valve. I'll put the part number in the video and also in the description. So the symptoms I was getting was misfires on multiple cylinders. The engine had like a hiccup when it was at idle, and from what I've read, that could definitely be an issue. I also saw. So this is the guy we're replacing today. This guy has a tear in the seal right inside this hole. And also there's some oil leaking around here. So we're going to try to replace that, see if it fixes the problem. So the first thing you want to do is remove this harness going to the coil packs. The last person that worked on my car seemed to replace this screw here. So you're going to remove that screw. Take a bladed screwdriver and very gently pop open this connector on each. See, a lot of them got broken by people that have worked on the vehicle. Pop it open. Okay. Then you want to just pull carefully away from the coil packs. It looks like you may need to remove these guys. That's what these kind of look like. Now once the coil packs are removed, you want to remove the fuel injector connectors. So to do that, you just get your fingernail underneath these gray tabs, pull straight up, and then it should just come right out. So you pull up on this guy like this, and then you push down while you're pulling it out. Okay, all the fuel injector connectors are disconnected. Now, you gotta remove this guy right here. You just slide this off. I think that's an oxygen sensor connector. I'm not exactly sure, so. Okay. Oh, and also the mass airflow sensor connector. That needs to be removed as well. And anything else? That should be good enough for now. Remove the T30 screws that are holding down the PCV. Don't drop these. You definitely do not want to drop these. So have like a little magnetic part holder. Just throw the screw in as soon as you're done. Keeps them nice and organized and they won't fall. get going. Okay, so all the screws are removed. This guy's loose. Next thing you want to do is remove this hose here. You actually pinch down on the top and the bottom and pull out at the same time. Like that. So that's removed. Now, just take this off and actually detach this eye right here. Oh, some oil came out. Just take a rag and clean up this area over here. Don't use a rag that has any fibers or anything that could fall in. Now this is pretty obvious. You want to check the replacement part before you take this whole thing apart. Here's the replacement part. Let's go in. Screw it back together, and then we'll turn the car on and see to make sure that it worked. Okay, so after you tighten these guys up finger tight, you want to tighten them all the way down. I don't know what the torque spec is exactly, but just tighten them down as firmly as you can by hand. I started from this inside and worked my way out. So I did these two, then this, then this, then these guys, then these. There's probably a more proper way of doing it, but this should work just fine. Next, you want to put your coil packs back in, and then slide this guy on. But first, you want to make sure if any oil came out when you remove this guy, make sure you clean out all of these spark plug holes. And what I did to do that is I took a clean rag, wrapped around the tip of a big screwdriver, stuck it in, and then just twirled it around, making sure not to touch the spark plug, and then that cleaned out any oil that was in there. All right, let's put the coil packs back in. Let's plug these connectors in. And make sure coil packs are all the way in. A few of them that weren't. Connect the fuel injector connectors. And if you still have the gray tab on them, push them in. That locks the connectors. There's only like 2 of them that have it left on this. Double check all the connections here. Okay. So I believe it's the oxygen sensor connector. Slides back on. Right like that. There's a little clamp right here. You have the mass airflow sensor connector. Plugs back in, and then you push the gray pin in. And any other connections that may have been disconnected, plug those back in. Make sure this hose is reconnected. Just look over things, make sure everything looks the way it was. I suggest taking a picture before you start this project and then going back and verifying it before you start up the car.